Excellent. All right. Without further ado, Melissa Khan, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Edwin, and thank you so much for inviting me to do this career chat. And good afternoon, everyone that was able to kind of, tune in for this Zoom session. And it's a real honor to kind of come back to John Jay every single time I come back. It's always like a reminder of kind of like where my aspirations or just like goals kind of first started. So it's really great to just come back and get to, connect with students again. So like Edwin said, my name is Melissa Kong. My pronouns is she, her. I graduated from John Jay, I would say like 2015. Just saying that out loud is just insane. It happened so long ago. But I frequently come back to John Jay. I had such a great experience, and I hope you guys also have such a great experience. Um, how I got to my role, I would say my big message to you guys is really bet on yourself. I was one of those people that had like a lot of interests when I was at John Jay. I at one point wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to like explore all these different like job opportunities, right? But ultimately for me, I decided to kind of go into like the psychology route. I didn't major in forensic psych. I actually ended up getting into a program where I sort of created my own major. So I was a double major in psychology as well as journalism. And I really loved writing and taking, creative nonfiction really kind of helped me understand that, it's very cathartic. It really helps people kind of build off of like, verbal skills and just really helping them through their healing journey. So that's kind of how I sort of started my educational journey at John Jay. I changed my major 3 times. So if anybody on here has changed their major multiple times or is just like honestly is not sure what they want to do in life, it's completely okay. I was there at one point too. But fast forward to kind of like when I was a junior or a senior, I needed to figure out like what I was going to do, right? Because like you can't just be, out here not majoring anything at John Jay. You have to pick something, right? Um, I I had this idea of, being a therapist because I thought like, I really wanted to help people. And being an attorney was just not it for me. I didn't really like it that much. It was like too much reading and stuff. And just like meeting with the advisor, I was like, this ain't really for me. So I had two options when I was like a junior senior. I applied for like a fellowship and then I applied as a backup for graduate school because I was like, I don't know if I necessarily want to do school. I kind of want to work to kind of, just get my feet wet to see, you know, what this working life, this adulting thing really meant, right? That's what we're all kind of trying to do, get our lives together. Um, I didn't get into the fellowship, but I did get into graduate school. So I opted to going to graduate school. So I ended up going to Hunter College, and I got a master's in mental health counseling. And I graduated, I believe it was in 2017. And since then, I've been really in like the mental health care like industry. I worked with people that had, severe mental illness as well as substance abuse concerns. And then I also did a proportion of my career in social services just to kind of get my feet wet and get my clinical hours. Um, and, I was one of those people that kind of like thought it would be nice to have like a job in the federal service, but there was something about me, meaning like I felt like I was not good enough for like federal service because I knew that in order to get into federal service, you had to be like cream of the crop. You had to be like a top A student. And I heard all of these different things about, being picked for federal service that I was like, okay, this ain't for me either. Right. Um, and I don't know, like it probably wasn't until maybe like COVID where I started to really believe like, I got to bet on myself. And opportunities will not come to me if I don't either create it or if I don't raise my hand and say, I want a challenge. Right. So for me, I ended up getting myself into kind of like assignments at work where it's not within my job description, but I ended up being on special projects just so that I could, advance different skills like research, analytical skills, and stuff like that. And I one day was just looking for a job and I saw, a counselor position at the Department of Veteran Affairs. And I've always wanted to work with veterans. I have family that are in the service. So this particular role has really kind of been very personal to me because I always wanted to kind of give back to my family and to sort of help people that are transitioning from active duty to the civilian world. So that's how I kind of got into this position. And it's been very, great in the sense of like it's both been challenging, but also really rewarding at the same time, seeing people progress, seeing people understand, their symptoms, understanding that, just because you experience something doesn't necessarily dictate, your future. So it's been really great. And I'm learning, so much about, the specialty of trauma and it's just really helping me kind of, like horn in on some more clinical skills. Um, and I think that's pretty much about my uh, career journey of how I got to the Department of Veteran Services. So if anyone is, out there that has a burning desire question, probably now would be a good time.
Right, that's excellent. It's a journey you've made.